Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I brought some exciting news about the new release of Alibaba Q1 2.5 Max. It's a new release, and it's outperformed even DeepSeek R1, which make a significant impact in a US tech world in terms of the cost of training and even the performance, and then the computational power to usage it. So China is catching up the US in terms of the generative AI. So ChatGPT is launched in November 2022, and US made a significant ahead of China in terms of generative AI. But however, the China has been grabbed the rapidly in terms of releasing both DeepSeek R1 and Q1 from the Alibaba. So and in terms of the token prices has been fall drastically. That's the reason like deepseek both deepseek and q1 has been a buzzword in the industry. The reason is like the openai o1 cost $60 per million token, but deepseek r1 cost $2.19. It's significantly 30x difference between the both the prices. So that's where like the industry is shifting towards a new AI models, which is like both the DeepSeek and Q1. And reinforcement learning is a hot topic at this moment because both these models are being uh, performance better by using the reinforcement learning rewards and punishment model, and they have done into the reinforcement learning with human feedback on both offline and online reinforcement learning. And q1 2.5 max our process deepseek v3. If you look at that, deepseek v3 was in top of the charts, but at this moment the q1 has been as a crown as a leader in terms of the various ones, and it's performed pretty well into the reasoning and even into the coding and the mathematical ones. And both the DeepSeek and Q1, it comes to the AGI, which means artificial general intelligence, which is like how human gonna thinks. I can call it as a near, but it fails to do some of that how human thinks into the logical ones. And what is new into the Q 2.1? So similarly, DeepSeek one, it's a open source, and it's developed on mixture of experts language model. So that's the reason it's giving the better efficiency and performance, and it has an open weight LLM. So that was a major shift in terms of like how the FNN architecture, right? Instead of the FN architecture, mixture of experts is been a different one. So what is the key technical details if you look at is the here the training data. The model has been trained on 20 trillion tokens covering the diverse domains. It means like it's trained on the e-commerce website and certain domains. So because it's a mixture of expert architecture, it's each expert has been trained onto the different domains, and it has post train it has gone to undergone to the supervised fine tuning and reinforcement learning with the human feedback with the responses. And with the mixture of expert architecture, it's only activate subset of the expert during the interface. That's the reason it's reduced the cost, even though it's been trained on the trillion tokens, but it's significantly its users when doing the interference, it uses a few computational uh, the tokens only. And with the select of activation of the select of experts, it's been lower the resource usage and the scalability. It doesn't require a massive infrastructure to utilize uh, the q1 as well. The performance it's if you look at the critical benchmarks capabilities key areas, deep seek the Q1 has been outperformed DeepSeek V3, and it shows like the problem solving skills and handle the complex coding stuff in terms of the knowledge. It's given a very strong results. So what is that gonna be in an industry, because these models are into the lesser in terms of the compute cost, and it comes with the smaller LLMs. So this models is being utilized into the uh, different kind of like the ones. And before going to the chain of thoughts, let's go and understand like the technical report, how this Q1 model is being trained and performed. So if you look at here, what I said, like a feed forward network layer, right? So earlier the models are being into the dense model architecture, but when it's Q1 is comes, it's more into the mixture of expert model architecture. So how this has been done, it's been replaced the feed forward network and layers and specialized mixture of experts layer. What does it means? Like, so earlier, we have the policies like in if you go to the middle layer, the dense vectors used to be there. So, but it's not having that expert layer kind of like agents within that. So that is a major change in terms of the architecture. And if you look at the pre-training data, the data is being more better filter um, data, and it's performing in max and coding with they have given incorporated kind of like special data sets to instrument to achieve the state of art performance. And they have created better synthetic data, and they created a data mixer in terms of it, right? What data mixer is talks about it like they have balanced the different content across different domains and e-commerce, social media, entertainment. So they have taken away scale data to train their model. And if you look at the scaling law for hyperparameters, they have been opted to analyze how optimal rate of learning in terms of the batch size itself, right? So when you train the model, you have to understand like how to train the model with the batch sizing. So they predict and compare that model performance with various parameters and against to the dense counterpart. And long context pre-training, it means like they have given a long context number of the tokens, and they activate specific tokens during that one. That's where like it's way cheaper when it comes to um, in a cost. And post training, I said earlier, right, it has a supervised fine tuning data coverage, and then it has a two stage of reinforcement learning. One is like offline and online reinforcement learning. So and supervised fine tuning, right, they have given long sequence generation, and they have given a mathematical coding and instruction uh, data size. So both offline and online reinforcement that help them like how truthful, helpness, and relevance in harmless way of like to deal that. And that's they've done it, and they have done into the model, and the model evolution as well. They have the certain bench parameters perform much better into the different areas, the ones. And let's say it's like the if you look at the benchmarks, it's too much better in terms of mathematical coding and reasoning as well. And we have a technical report for the mathematical one as well. If you see the coding technical report, the Q1, so it's a coding technical report which says like the model architecture is a mixture of expert, and it has a source code. It has taken a GitHub source code with the spanning 92 program languages, and it's text to code grounding the data. So they have done pretty solid in terms of like their uh, pre-trained data and model training policies with the ones. So and they have performance in terms of like evolution of the model as well. That's why it's performing pretty well in terms of the industry. And you can see it like from Hugging Face, you can able to see it, right? So welcome to the QWen. It refers to the LLM model family built by the Alibaba Cloud, and they have the different sizes of models available in 7 billion and vision language models as well. It's performed pretty good in terms of it. And what makes these models in terms of the uniqueness, uh, it's how these models are gonna working in terms of, right, it has a better capabilities in giving the output. So that's the reason these models are performing one. The key features of these models is the better in a size, right? The Q2, Q1, 2.5 offer in 7 sizes is like zero point 0.5 billion, 1.5 billion, and 3 billion. So it means like it's covered the large landscape with the open models with providing cost effective options for the resource constrained environments, and with a better accuracy and latency and the cost making one, and better training, um, uh, pre-training data and post-training data. And the ones, if you look at the post-training data, they have done a supervised fine-tuning, and they use a direct preference optimization, a DPO, optimizing the user preferences, unlike the human feedback. It comes once it comes to the reinforcement learning, and it's let the model itself to comes up with how output gonna looks like. And its group relative policy optimization, GRPO, which means like it's a policy of the agent. So it's informed like how agent has to be performed in terms of it. So let's go into the chart how DeepSeek is gonna the key features of the Q1 2.5 is like advanced reasoning, problem solving, a multilingual support in global accessibility, optimized for both short-term and long-term tasks, and seamlessly integrated to your workflow. What does it means? Like earlier, the models has to be trained into the multiple languages because they are being done into the supervised fine tuning. But due to mixture of expert, it's gonna be no needed to you train the model again into the different languages. And one more key one which I wanted to show you here, if you look at that, the passkey retrieval, because the model is having so much of depth of understanding. If you look at the middle of the models, it's trying pretty well as well. The reason is like it has the reasoning understanding between the context length and document the ones. That's where like the accuracy of that middle of the ones is 50%, and when it goes to the top of the document it has like 100% at the ones. That is a key one because this models will be game changers in the industry, because the way how Gen AI is been so far been there. Let's go and try to see like how it's gonna create. I'm gonna ask like create a create a so I ask it like to create into a artifact. So when you say is like giving the artifact, it's just to tell us like how it's gonna be there. um, but this model we can do with the two different one as well. It's gonna show us like it's creating the game. I asked to create a basic chess game. But if you look at like because I just go for the artifacts the ones, but if I goes for the internet one, right? So I can ask for So I given that like I wanted to be create this one chess game with the Python one, and it's trying to give me the app.py details, and it's showing me like how to um, um, uh, generate that and how the representation looks like, and it's fairly with the cost per perspective, right? It's doing pretty well, but uh, if I go to do the same thing into the Gemini, right? So it's much faster in terms of the performance wise, and it's get a better responses as well uh, for this one. And thanks everyone for watching my video, and please